Chucky and Friends is an upcoming animated series based on Chuck E. Cheese and Munch's make-believe band. A Christmas special is slated to be released in November 2025, serving as a backdoor pilot for a full series in films. This series was first announced in 2020 by the CEO of CEC Entertainment, and the show's pitch Bible was leaked on October 26, 2024. For those who may be unfamiliar, a pitch Bible is basically just a document compiling all of the relevant information about a project, the character, the lore, the plot, anything that the writer or the creators think will convince a network to pick up a show, hence pitch Bible, because this is the document that they're going to be using to pitch the show to networks and everything. But I just wanted to read it all out and talk a little bit about my personal thoughts on the Chucky and Friends pitch Bible. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Welcome to the world of Chucky and Friends, which follows the beloved mischievous mouse and his friends Helen, Jasper, Bella, and Mr. Munch on their adventures in a world that could always use more of Chucky's effervescently playful spirit. From the huge and fantastical, like trying to throw a party on the International Space Station, to the ordinary and everyday, like trying to find a friend's favorite pickles that are sold out everywhere in town, the series embraces celebration and playfulness as its thematic heart. Each episode will feature Chucky ingeniously approaching the world with the same positive mindset. There is always great value and something to celebrate in what so many people overlook or take for granted. To Chucky, the world should not just be a place where a kid can be a kid, but where an adult can also be a kid, and maybe most importantly, where anybody can rediscover their sense of play and become a kid again. Chucky is on a mission to remind the world that the treasures of childhood exist for everyone, everywhere, always, just as the series itself is on a mission to appeal to everyone, everywhere, always, with hilarious entertainment the entire family can enjoy together. And here is the biography for the character Chuck E. Cheese. Chucky is the fun-loving, charismatic mouse who looks at the world through his own unique cheese-colored glasses. While everyone else seems to focus on life's problems, failures, and fears, Chucky has the gift of always seeing life's positives, the small victories, the fun, the humor, the things worth celebrating that others take for granted, like the joy of a perfectly placed, well-designed cup holder. To him, anything worth doing is worth having fun doing. Then, if it was up to Chuck E. Cheese, you celebrate having done it. The only thing he loves more than turning the mundane into a celebration are his friends. For him, Helen, Jasper, Bella, and Mr. Munch are more than just friends. They're his chosen family. Like Ferris Bueller's natural leadership qualities and Phineas Flynn's unending enthusiasm, Chucky's passion is contagious. Whether it's trying to celebrate the time-traveling miracle of daylight savings or fend off an invasion of headless minotaurs, Chucky's friends are easily swept up in his mischievous, ambitious, often chaotic vision, helping him achieve whatever goal, big or small, is in front of them. He's grateful for his friends' loyalty and ability to keep him grounded and provide different perspectives. Chucky always looks at life from fresh, new angles. He often questions why we do the things we do just because, quote, that's how they've always been done. Whoever said eggs and pancakes were only morning food and recess breaks are only for school kids? This leaves him with a complicated relationship with rules and authority. For Chucky, rules aren't meant to be broken, but they are meant to be re-examined, re-evaluated, and rewritten, which can occasionally irritate those who take it upon themselves to enforce those rules. Like Bugs Bunny, Chuck E. Cheese is an impish, playful, quote, rebel who is always on the appropriate side of right and wrong. And now for Helen Henny's biography. Helen Henny is one of Chucky's oldest, most trusted friends. She is as fun-loving and positive as any fun-loving, positive mouse can hope for in a chicken, but Helen also has a nurturing, maternal, literally, quote, mother hen side. When things turn to chaos, an unfortunately common event, Helen is often found trying to corral, organize, and lovingly guide her friends through it. Chucky, Jasper, Bella, and Munch have enormous respect for Helen, and she is often the voice of reason. She's a realist and is able to see the big picture when her friends become increasingly tunnel-visioned. While Chucky always finds the small victories to celebrate, and others may focus on the negative problems, Helen often has to remind Chucky that those, quote, negative problems shouldn't be ignored. Helen loves and encourages Chucky's positive, take-nothing-for-granted attitude, but she usually tries to get him to find solutions to the negatives while celebrating positives. For instance, while the gang is playing Helen's favorite, quote, Mario Kart-type driving game, the bewildered, inexperienced Munch is bummed that he keeps coming in last. Chucky wants to celebrate how much Munch has improved, which is the real win. Helen agrees and suggests they go celebrate at the brand new car-themed amusement park. The friends all ride go-karts, bumper cars, and other driving-related rides, which boosts Munch's confidence and driving skill set. Back at home, Munch becomes seemingly unbeatable. When not keeping a mother hen eye on Chucky's latest possible misadventure, Helen is a gifted, driven video gamer who enjoys going head-to-head with any challenger. When things get serious in the gaming world, Helen will occasionally reveal a hilariously incongruent, highly competitive, trash-talking side, allowing her passions to get the better of her. And now for Jasper T, or I guess now just Jasper Jowls, no T, Jasper Jowls. If Helen Henny with her maternal positivity stands on one side of Chucky, Jasper Jowls, the streetwise dog, stands on the other side with his carefree, comically cynical, wisecracking attitude. Jasper isn't negative or antagonistic, he just doesn't invest too much emotionally in the outcomes and solutions about which his friends seem so passionate. Win or lose, Jasper greets either with a shrug, believing it will all come out in the wash eventually. Like Jerry Seinfeld or Rocket Raccoon, Jasper gets away with saying what everyone is thinking. Quote, if you arrive fashionably late in Crocs, you're just late. And people love him for it. Like most dogs, Jasper is, quote, man's best friend, in that he has and makes friends everywhere he goes. Having spent so much time in the front row of mankind's absurd show, he has developed a sharp, keen eye for man's foibles and silliness. The depth and extent of Jasper's social connections never fails to amaze his friends. When they run into an obstacle, many times it's Jasper's seemingly endless contact list that saves the day. Like the time a city worker wanted to unfairly fine Pasqually's restaurant. Jasper makes just one quick, casual call to Governor Dolly Parton, parentheses, they have an ongoing game of Go Fish, and Pasqually's unfair penalty vanishes. Despite Jasper's irreverent enjoyment of chaos and absurdity, he is as fiercely loyal as any dog and cares deeply about his friends and their well-being. It's never any question that Jasper will go all out to help Chucky and his friends solve any problem. And now Bella Bunny, now renamed to Bella Brinca. Bella is the most adorable, sweet, innocent little Hispanic bunny in the whole entire world, on the surface. While Bella is good through and through, her astounding cuteness is not something in her control. She just is cute. Her little voice sounds so cute, regardless of what she says. Imagine the cutest voice you've ever heard complaining, quote, ew, the milk is spoiled, as everyone gushes, quote, aww. Bella was simply born outrageously adorable and she resents it, struggling to be taken seriously. Knowing that most people will react to her little voice with precious delight, Bella has over time become a bunny of few words. She is all about action. Inside, Bella is a no-nonsense, capable, confident rabbit. Within the gang, Bella is the fixer, the convincer, the bunny that gets it done. Many times, while her friends are still arguing with one another about the best way to approach a problem, Bella goes off screen and gets it solved all on her own. And on the rare occasions where her normal tactics aren't enough, no one can say no to something as cute as Bella trying to be cute. The laws of space/time don't seem to allow it. Even the meanest, scariest, hairiest antagonists turn to mush at the sight of Bella's cuteness turned up to 11, and can't help but do her bidding. When the going gets tough, Bella is Chucky's adorable ace up his sleeve. And now on to Mr. Munch. Mr. Munch is a lovable, big, round purple alien who is the life of the party. If there is or ever was a reason why Mr. Munch came to our planet, it remains a mystery because Mr. Munch is way too distracted having fun with his friends. Like Mork from Ork, Munch is a comically exaggerated fish out of water on Earth. The rules of society make little sense to him, and even the laws of Earth, physics, and biology are baffling to him. If Chucky sees opportunities to celebrate where others do not, Mr. Munch embodies the spirit of, quote, celebration itself. Sweet-natured and generous, Mr. Munch loves his friends and is eager to help them any way he can, even when he doesn't understand what they're trying to accomplish. He has the ability to open little dimensional portals to his alien home using a high-tech, multi-purpose alien device, parentheses, think Doctor Who's screwdriver, and retrieve items that he wants or needs. Although he believes they might solve his friends' latest problems, much to their amusement, these silly, sometimes ridiculous items are rarely helpful, if even recognizable. Munch is oblivious to the fact that on Earth, his high-tech alien device just happens to look exactly like an ordinary Earth toilet plunger, which causes great confusion, especially in public restrooms. While most Earth customs are strange to him, Mr. Munch does understand the universal language of music. It did not take much convincing to get Chucky and his friends to join Munch in starting his make-believe band. The gang is always ready to grab their instruments and become the party band at any celebration. For Chucky, his dear friend Munch is a seemingly endless inspiration for new, original ways to celebrate and have fun. Chucky learns from Munch as much as Munch learns from Chucky. Mr. Munch's totally objective, naive take on things is in line with Chucky's ability to appreciate what others take for granted. And last, but certainly not least, we have Pasqually. Pasqually is the beleaguered, kindly, tolerant owner and operator of Pasqually's family restaurant, above which Chuck E. Cheese and his friends live. Pasqually's restaurant means everything to him. His family has owned ones like this for generations, going all the way back to Italy, and he wants to do his legacy proud. He really cares about creating a warm, inviting, cozy family environment for his patrons. Unfortunately, Pasqually is a worrier and can get stressed out by life's curveballs and strikeouts. Living right above him is Chuck E. Cheese, who always has a way of making Pasqually see the good, positive side of a seemingly bad situation. Unfortunately, Chucky and his friends are occasionally the cause of the bad situation themselves. Pasqually can find himself in the strange position of having to go up and bang on Chucky's door to ask them to please keep the fun, chaotic noise down because it's drowning out the massive, raucous kid's birthday party that he's hosting downstairs. Other times, Pasqually will open up the restaurant in the morning only to find Jasper drinking all of the milk out of the carton from his fridge, then helpfully telling him, quote, "You're out of milk." Pasqually is like an avuncular, almost paternal figure to Chucky and his friends. He tries to offer them guidance, but his concern for rules and traditions are at odds with Chucky's outlook on life. Despite the silly irritations and hijinks of his upstairs neighbors, there is real affection between Pasqually and the gang, and at the end of a long day, you can usually find Pasqually, Chucky, Helen, Jasper, Bella, and Munch sitting around a candlelit table after hours, eating leftover pizza and potato skins, laughing about the day's adventures. And it all starts with the Chucky and Friends Holiday Special, a 44-minute holiday special grounded in the heart and comedy that is unique to Chuck E. Cheese. This will serve as a backdoor pilot to introduce Chucky's world, establish the, quote, chosen family dynamic between all of his friends, and set the stage for more specials, a series, and films. The first holiday special will be available for distribution by November 2025 in English, Spanish, French, and Arabic. The logline or plotline for this episode is as follows. When Chucky and friends learn that Santa Claus has never experienced a Christmas party because he is always exhausted from working on Christmas Eve, they set out to throw a surprise Christmas celebration for Santa as a thank you for all of the joy that he brings to the world. The party also ends up doubling as a way to save their town from the meddling of a holiday-hating evildoer. And this is a little bit more information about the world of Chucky and Friends. In the beloved tradition of Looney Tunes or the Muppets, Chucky's world has a mixture of sentient, talking animals and humans, parentheses, all of whom are roughly the same size instead of, say, a mouse being a tiny creature, all living and functioning together in a typical society. No one thinks twice about buying ice cream from a horse or lending a sympathetic ear to a sad moon in the sky. And a little bit more information. A new legacy. This is basically just more lore establishing the universe of the show. Much like how Mickey Mouse does not visit Disneyland, Chuck E. Cheese establishments that our audience are familiar with in the real world do not exist in this animated world. The animated specials and series occasionally feature Pasqually's beautiful, family-owned Italian restaurant that gets wildly disrupted by our zany cast of characters, but this is not a show about a kid's pizzeria arcade. This is a show about fully dimensional, fun, relatable main characters who will drive the stories and bring the audience into their warm, tight-knit circle. Watching Chucky and Friends should feel like hanging out and going on adventures with your own best friends. The tone. While the show will establish and evolve its own internal set of rules and, quote, laws, the goal is to create a giddy, free-flowing, quote, anything goes tone and story approach that will keep the audience surprised, delighted, and invested, forever unable to guess what will happen next. Most of all, the focus will be on the fully dimensional, fun, relatable main characters who will drive the stories and bring the audience into their warm, tight-knit circle. Chucky and his friends are like, quote, kidults, all living in a large apartment loft above Pasqually's family restaurant in a quaint suburban city. parentheses, think Hill Valley from Back to the Future. The apartment is set up like an amazing, fun clubhouse for Chucky and the gang to hang out, watch scary movies, practice music, or play marathon gaming sessions. Mini trampolines, slides, a putt-putt golf course, skee ball, and free-flowing slushy machines are just some of the highlights. Each friend has their own personal space accented with their own individual touches. The building is a converted firehouse, and the fire pole still exists, giving the gang quick, not always welcomed access to Pasqually's fully stocked kitchen below. And that pitch Bible was leaked on October 26th, 2024. I will leave the link to where I found this information in the description. I am mostly just wanting to go over this verbally because I haven't seen anybody else talking about this online, and I am increasingly becoming a huge fan of the whole Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time universe. I just want to talk about a few things in this pitch Bible that I've come to light. So, number one, Pasqually is no longer the drummer and has been replaced with Bella, which is an interesting choice. I have seen some disagreement with this choice. I kind of disagree, but I also kind of get it. I understand wanting to give Bella an obvious role, and if she's not in the band, especially with her personality, which in my opinion very much boils down to her looks, which is any female coded character. I would love if there's more to her than just being cute, and I see that they kind of tried to build that out, but I do appreciate them also giving her a role as the drummer rather than the tambourine player. Not to down on tambourine players, but I do think, especially since Pasqually has the restaurant in this show, which I'm going to get to in a moment, I think it does sort of make sense for Bella to shift into that role. Pasqually has been the drummer for literally since he has existed, so obviously I know that this is a big change, and I know that not everyone necessarily wants to embrace change, but I think that there are a few things about this TV series and the future of Chuck E. Cheese that would be interesting for people to consider. If you hear me out, guys, hear me out. I, again, am new to this fandom. I am just giving my opinions. Let's talk about it. So, why are they making these changes with Pasqually? Why is that? I can only give my opinion until we see further chatter about it or see the actual special itself, if it materializes and if a show materializes after that. But from my understanding, I know a good deal about like character and story and world building, and in my opinion, again, just my opinion, I think that Pasqually's role change has a little something to do with how the Chuck E. Cheese brand itself has tried to sort of lean into this whole Pasqually's pizza brand. Chuck E. Cheese doesn't exactly have the best reputation with pizza for reasons that anybody who has heard any conversation online about Chuck E. Cheese knows. So I think, in my opinion, they are trying to shift the food side of the brand away from Chuck E. Cheese and into Pasqually and sort of legitimize it a little bit more. During the pandemic, a lot of people started ordering from Pasqually's on like DoorDash and stuff like that because they had never heard of it. And they were like, okay, what is this new little pizza place? I think Chuck E. Cheese is going to try to run with that and really expand this whole Pasqually's pizza brand into something more legitimate. So we're giving Pasqually this like paternal position of power in the TV series. And then when it comes to this TV series existing in the first place, I think it is just to strengthen the brand, because I think one of the weakest things that I have observed in terms of Chuck E. Cheese branding is the branding of the characters themselves, especially because the animatronics were not at the forefront of the branding of Chuck E. Cheese, to the point where many locations, including the one that I grew up going to, didn't even have the animatronic band and only had a Chuck animatronic, with the other members of the band just featured on TV screens nearby. So I think they really flopped and failed on that front when it comes to building the personalities and making these characters, like in the pitch Bible it says so many times, well-rounded, fully fleshed, like main characters, because I feel like that is something that the brand has really not done in the past, and that's why it suffered. So I think a lot of people seeing that there is going to be a Chuck E. Cheese TV series are like, why is this happening? Like, why are we seeing a Chuck E. Cheese TV series? But I think it, to me, seems very obvious, and that is to strengthen the brand. One, in kind of associating the pizza side of the branding with a more authentic, like Pasqually's family comes from Italy and all this kind of stuff, to kind of get away from the whole like rat casino pizza slices that don't fit together vibe. Like, I think they really want to rebrand that side of the Chuck E. Cheese brand, and they also want to really strengthen the branding of Helen Henny and Jasper Jowls, now just Jasper Jowls apparently, but anyway, and Mr. Munch and Bella, because none of the kids, I feel like, that are going into Chuck E. Cheese and seeing these show tapes on the TVs know who these little dancing characters are. And maybe I'm out of touch, maybe I'm wrong, maybe the kids love Helen Henny. I don't think they do. I don't feel like growing up I ever really knew anything about Chucky's friends or any of the lore, and that's what's gotten me so interested in learning about it now as an adult, because I realized that there's this whole universe that I just had no idea about because it wasn't advertised. One more thing that I want to bring up before I wrap this up. I'm not a fan of how they're changing up Jasper's characterization. I don't feel like he was ever a street smart, like, doesn't care. Maybe I'm out of touch because I am very more hyperfixated on the earlier versions of Jasper that are like Jasper T. Jowls, the like flirty, kind of dumb, like gets bullied by Chuck E. Cheese. That's the Jasper that I'm thinking of. This is not that Jasper. Hashtag not my Jasper. But no, I can't say that I'm necessarily super well versed in what the characters' personalities have become in like Rockstar era, because that is not my favorite area. Hot take. Not so hot take, I know. But I don't know. I feel like Munch's characterization is pretty consistent. Helen's has been this like positive gamer girl for a while. Chucky has changed over time, but I don't know. If you're watching this, let me know in the comments what you think of the characterization of these characters in this new Chucky and Friends show versus past characterizations. Why do you think that these choices were made? How do you think these characters are going to interact with each other? Do you agree with my thoughts on things? Do you disagree? Be nice, please. Please be nice. I am doing this just out of passion and interest. I am not yet a Chuck E. Cheese content creator. I am interested in possibly dipping my toes in a little bit more, and this is a trial. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much, and I will maybe see you with more content like this soon. I post all sorts of stuff, including Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater type stuff on my TikTok, so I will leave all of those links down below, along with the link of where I found this leaked pitch Bible, which, again, I didn't see anybody talking about it. It's been a while. It's been almost a month that this has been out, and I haven't seen anybody really talk about it. So, you know what? I'm gonna talk about it. Alright, thank you for watching. I am Evie Piscini, and this is my first Chuck E. Cheese video. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.